Hello. Hopefully everything's working. I'm going to be doing hopefully the rest of these colours today. I want to get them out of the way so I can start doing some other just bear with me a moment. I want to try and do some other activities live or as in videos or get some other things uploaded. So I'm hoping because we've done that tray. We've done that tray. We're now on this tray, and I'm quite excited looking at all these last few colours, especially the gold, the bronze, and the silver. I also want to see how these greys work as well, because I have done a lot of work with graphite in the past, and I think it'd be a good stepping stone to sort of take into the greys. So, just getting the papers that I've already done, making sure I don't drop my pencils everywhere. So I'll show you where we're up to now. I mean, if you've not seen the rest of these swatches and the fun and the chat that I've had with people coming on the lives, then please go back and have a look at some of the videos. There's quite some fun times in there, and I think it'd be quite good for you to have a look at what my lives are sort of like. So we started off with page 1, which were these vibrant, really pretty colours. And page 2 was a bit more muted, sort of like nighttime colours, then going back into these bright greens. Then page 3 is where we were finished last night, and we finished up to the second tray. So all we have to do is these and that few there. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get through the rest of those today. So let's make a start. I've got myself a nice cup of tea. I've had a bit of a cold and a sore throat the last few days, but I'm feeling a little bit better today. But I've got my cup of tea ready, and that's going to be at the side of me. Hopefully, have a couple of sips of that throughout. Please make sure you've got your own drinks to stay hydrated, and we will begin. Okay, let me just get my chat up. Hi there. Hi, Sla1. I've seen you a few times in Super Chat, so hi, welcome. If you're happy to post your name, so I'm not calling you by your channel name, that's fine if you don't want to, but it's been nice to see you. And Tim, lovely to see you again. Let's see if we can make this one a fun one again. It was quite a fun chat when we was all together in the last one with Amanda and Andy. I quite enjoyed that one, and obviously when it was just ourselves, we sort of had a bit of a banter. Archbishop of Banterbury. I like that one. Really made me giggle. So we're moving on to 194. Throat's still a bit croaky, so bear with me. But I'll do my best to try and keep hydrated myself and also able to talk to you guys and also get these finished. Now I can actually seem to get the lives working in a way that I want them to work. So I know Tam's been in on this a couple of times, and I really appreciate that's Kits and Bits Scale Modelling. Please check out his channel. It's always good to pass around the community of people who are actually supporting other channels. Please pay him a visit, and anybody else that's in the chat. I'm not sure how, but I'm sure you're allowed to drop your link in the chat. I have set up a bot, but he seems to want to come and go when he wants to come and go. So I'm not sure if somebody wants to give it a try and just see if it works. I think exclamation mark and drop has worked a couple of times, but I'm not sure if that's what this one actually has. It's something that I will look into because he doesn't seem to want to play every time I come out onto the live, so I might be looking at other streaming bots. If you've got any good suggestions, put them in the chat because I'll be happy to have a look at other ones. The one that I've got at the minute is called Nightbot. Like I said, he makes his own appearance when he wants to make the appearance. It's because he loves me, yeah. We all love you, Tam. You bring some really good chat and jokes and witty content to all the streams that I've been involved in whilst you've been there. It's one thing that I've actually didn't think I'd get from these lives is the actual sort of friendship and the bit of conversation and things to talk about that you wouldn't normally talk about. Um, quite enjoyed that, and I hope that continues because at first I was really nervous and scared to come and do these things. Now I'm slightly getting excited about doing them. So as long as the software plays nice, which it seems to have done quite well today, I'm happy for it to continue as it is. Why is it saying stop spamming? It did that the other day with Andy's other half, what's it called? Jason P. He kept on saying about spamming. I don't like though it's preventing you from doing the chat. I'm gonna have to have a look at that, find out what's going on. Right, that's why we check things because that's not the right number that's coming next. So we've got 135 next, which isn't that one. And it's not that one either. So I'm just going to fill this one in here and it will come across at some point. I've got a feeling it might be that one, but we'll have a look at it. Right, let's have a look at what this Nightbot's doing. There he is. I see he appears when I tell him he's the villain. It's crawling out of the woodwork. You know how to get them viable. Get rid of Nightbot and add human mods. I'll be one if you want. Really good if you don't mind doing that. I don't know how to do that whilst I'm actually in the live, but I'll definitely look at that afterwards if you're all right hanging on for the next live. That'd be really good. It's 'cause it's in caps, lol. I only did it to wake Nightbot up. Oh, you know exactly what you're doing then, don't you? You've been here before and done this, by the sounds of it. Can you suggest any other sort of bots just in case anybody's not on that I know? I'm quite happy with you sort of being a mod because you sort of still keep the fun in. I don't want to have somebody that sort of goes, nope, that's not being said. Nope, can't do that. I want somebody with a bit more lenience. Obviously, if you get the odd idiot coming in and saying stupid things, then obviously kick them out. But I want this to sort of be a place where people can just sort of come and have a chat whilst I'm doing something stupid. And hopefully either we'll have a good chat and you'll enjoy the stream because of that, or we'll just because people like the idea of the crafts that I'm doing. So I want to sort of do this sort of two ways where, there's an interest for people of the actual thing that I'm doing on the day, but also open it up to some good chat. That's what I'm after. So I know you're sort of on the ball with them type of things. Click on my name and a tab will appear on the right. Click on the tab and add moderator. Is that under YouTube? Because I've actually got OBS up on my screen at the minute. I hope this doesn't go wrong. Let me just get my YouTube up. If you don't mind bearing with me because I'm not very good with these kind of things. Used to be, years ago. So I've lost the chat now. So I can't actually see what people are saying. Click on your name. Ah, there you are. Add as a moderator. Right, I've done that, but it's not letting me. Oh, there, save. Okay, so when you type next, your name should turn up in blue, am I right? Give it a try if you don't mind, and then we can see if we've sussed it, or if you've helped me suss it, I should say. Fingers crossed I've done it right. If not, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to walk me through it. I can't believe the difference in my voice from yesterday, because yesterday I thought today I'd have completely lost it. My voice, I mean, I lost it 8 years ago, so no, it's not that, but I thought I was going to lose my voice completely. I should have a spanner next to my name. Yeah, you're not a spanner, are you? It's not coming up. But like I said, I am in OBS. So let me see if I can move that over. Ooh, that's not right. Save. Right, now you should be a moderator because it's just popped up saying you are. Fingers crossed. I only did the same thing that I did before, so I don't know why it would be okay now and wasn't before. So hopefully you'll have a spanner next to your name when you type the next comment. I did it! I call my mods the spanner wankers. Well, I won't call you that just yet. We'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. Oh God, I don't understand why you hung up your lives because obviously I've never actually dropped in on one of your lives, but I can imagine them being really fun. So yeah, I think you need to come out of retirement on that one. I think a lot of people need that kind of banter and that human interaction rather than people saying you can't do God knows what different things you're not allowed to do these days. 131. Right, these are going to be mixed up. Just let me get some kind of order. 131, 132. What number are you? 189. Oh, that's that one. 189. I don't know how you managed to put all your things together, your little scale models, and I can't even take a pack of pencils out and put them in the right order. 132, beige red. Doesn't look like a red to me. Boom. If there's anybody lurking in the background, you are very welcome to pop into the chat. I can see there's a few people lurking in the background. You're very welcome. Nothing will be, hopefully it'll be fun and light. But you're very welcome to drop a comment in and we'll just introduce yourself and say hi. I was streaming from 7 p.m. to gone 12 on Friday and Saturday. It took me so long to recover. I was literally getting 2 days to make a video before I was having to go live again. Yeah, I know the feeling. I didn't realise until I started on this YouTube journey how much work actually goes into it. But what I have found is since I went live, instead of my analytics sort of going when I get a video posted and then it sort of comes down slowly, but it comes right down to the bottom. What seems to have happened since I've gone live, it's sort of gone up and then sort of gone dips here and there, but it's never actually gone back to the bottom. And lives for me take up less time because the editing takes so long to do. Don't get me wrong, I'll still do, um, you know, proper videos, but I think the live is definitely more. I like the interaction, I like the fun, I like the. Um, I've accepted that I will make mistakes, and I think that's where my videos were edited to be too polished in a lot of ways. And I think I felt a bit more relaxed about what I'm posting since I've gone live because everybody gets to see the complete real you rather than the ums and ahs and the not thinking straight coming out. But we'll get there. Just couldn't deal with the mental toll it took on the time it took away from making videos, so I gave up. Maybe just do like once a month. Continue with your videos and then just do like a once a month thing. Or you can just continue coming into my lives and make me laugh and giggle and you'll still have that interaction anyway. And I'll always mention people's names that are in the chat. Um, when we figure out how to actually drop your channel name, I'm not sure how to do that. But if you know how to do it, you're welcome to drop your channel name so people can find your channel a bit easier. I mean, yours is quite easy to remember, so it should be okay. Problem is, if you do lives and videos, you need two separate channels because the lives will affect your views in the algorithm. Will it? I suppose I'm yet to find that out then, aren't I? Because I had a problem with that with doing like the shorts because I liked posting like would you rather quizzes. And I noticed massive spikes when I did them, and then all of a sudden all that work that you put into the videos just seemed pointless because you don't get as many views. I mean, you obviously get more watch hours, but not by much unless you've had a really good, interest in the video. But I think what I've noticed is when I've posted something from a while ago, it seems to be now. It didn't at the time, but it seems to now be taking off more now than it did when I actually posted the video. So there's some things out there that I posted, say, 2 months ago, that are still getting views now, and they're slowly building up. So I'm sort of seeing the odd video where I've gone, yeah, I put quite a bit of work into that one, but nothing happened at the time. Now they're starting to take off, and I think it might just be the algorithm trying to find the right audience for um your channel. Maybe that's my assumption anyway. Like I said, I knew nothing about YouTube before starting off, apart from it was always on in our household and it was doing me head in. But I've sort of come to realise it's just part and parcel of life these days, and TV seems to be not as important as streaming of whatever kind it is. 131. So that's 131 there. So 132. I'll put these in the same order as what they're actually in. I don't understand how they've got mixed up though, because I've not really touched them since I bought them. 130. I'll sort it. I'll sort them all out afterwards. Hi Andy, glad you're in. How are you today, lovely? Tom says my live channel has videos on as well, and I only get 500 views. Only 500 views. I think I'm lucky if I get 100 views, but yeah, well done for that anyway. The vids I post on my other channel that has never had lives on get 3k. Oh right. So is the 3k one the one that you're posting from now, or have you got a separate channel to this for that one? You'll have to send me your link for the other one so I can check it out for you. My live channel has 7.5 thousand subs. Brilliant. My channel that gets all the views has 1.7, right? So it's definitely a factor. It's yeah, it's a very interesting way how this algorithm works. I don't think anybody's going to be able to suss it out, but I think it's a matter of taking it as it comes, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then you're gonna have to change something, but I'm not sure what. Good, now I'm tired. Oh yeah. What have you been up to, Andy? What's made you tired, lovely? Hey, have you noticed my voice feels so much better today? It's still a bit croaky, but I've been drinking lots of tea. Still not had the honey, but I've got a nice cup of tea next to me that my daughter made for me. So I've got a normal cup of tea, and then I've got a Twinings Focus. So hopefully I'll be a bit more focused when I'm doing the video. These pencils are all mixed up, and I don't know what's happened with them, but I'm gonna figure it out as I go along and then put them back in order of where they should be according to my what do you call it, swatch sheet, if that's a thing. I can post links now. I'm a mod, haha. Good. So my channel is okay. Just let me screenshot that because I won't remember it. Oh, don't tell me I've done something wrong. To record the area. Just want a screenshot. Right, done that. This OBS, I think, might be a bit too complicated for me. I Just wanted it to take a screenshot and it's put in loads of different things. There we go. I've got it anyway. So I will definitely have a look at that later. Where was we? 131. Don't want to make sure I don't get the wrong colour in the wrong box. Because that won't be good. It'd be absolutely pointless doing the swatches and then find out it's not the right one in the first place. The second channel, right, okay. So yeah, 2 channels. Let me just screenshot that as well. Because I'm hopeless at remembering things. At least I remembered your name. I think it took me about 4 weeks to remember Andy's name. And it wasn't any fault of her own, it was just, I think when you do your own lives, you get more involved with it. I mean, to be honest, I don't think I remembered what Amanda's name was till the last video when she was in. I just had her down as Scraptastic because you don't really say the person's name when you're in their live. You say their name when they're in your life, if that makes sense. I'm absolutely hopeless with names in real life anyway. Good with faces, but names, different matter completely. I think I'm missing some chat. Ah, right, it's just slowed down. The scroll has gone up instead of down. I'm gonna get Tam making some comment about that. Don't want to make it too easy. Tam Kits. But yeah, so he's got a second channel. I didn't know that. But these are the things that we find out when we get to know people better in the lives, and obviously we can support that second channel as well. Tam, do you ever go into Tuber Chat? Because that's where I met Andy, and I think I met Amanda there as well. But I don't recall seeing you there. Might be wrong. 132. So that's definitely 131 there. So that one should be 189. Yep. So we're on the right one now because we're still missing a box. 191. Still need to find this 135. It'll turn up as we go along. Amanda! You did hear your name. Your ears were burning. They see. Tam even said it. Your ears were burning. See, there you go. Just through popping into this live, you've now got an extra sub from Andy, and you will also get an extra sub from me. And then are the little things that we can do for each other. I mean, your channel obviously is a lot bigger than mine. Hopefully I will be joining that kind of level someday. But even still, I mean, in the big world of YouTube, we're tiny little fish in a pond at the minute. So if we can help each other sort of get to the surface and get our names out there, especially with the kind of people we are, we're all fun and we're having a bit of a laugh, and I think people with some personality would be better in the long run for YouTube. I think people are eventually going to get bored of this everything perfect and trying to live up to. I think a lot of people are sort of going. They want more genuine videos, more genuine people, and I think we fit that bill. We'll have to come up with a name for what we are. So while we're all here, I can't get my words out. What days are good for Scraptastic Crochet and Creating Relate to do the panel live stream with us all? If Amanda's up for that, I think that'll be quite fun. Obviously Amanda mentioned that she's not been feeling like doing the lives recently, so I'm happy to do that before you feel like going back on your own lives. I'm happy for that, but yeah, I need to sort of book that time out because obviously I'm a single parent and I just need to make sure that the kids are sort of either occupied or doing something where they're not going to come and mither. At the minute, I've already said goodnight to them and they're just sort of having the last half hour on YouTube on YouTube watching their own things. And I think my daughter is doing some craft. She's very crafty herself. She's doing some work on she got a cricket machine at Christmas, one of the small joy ones. So I know she's been working on bits and pieces on that. So I think that's where she's at the minute. So she's in a room. My son's in the living room. So therefore, I don't need to referee. So I need to sort of organise things backstage so that I'm able to do these. So whenever people are ready to do that panel, I'm happy to do it. I just need to sort of plan things around it, if that makes sense. And obviously the time, I think Amanda is only an hour either in front or behind me, and I don't think she's too far time zone wise, but obviously it needs to be a decent time for the viewers. I'm not, do you know what, Tam? I don't even know where. Are you in the UK? I don't think I've asked. Or if I have, I forgot. I do forget quite a lot of stuff. I think the baby brain just never left me. I think that come as part of the package and just stayed with me since I had the kids. I've also been not wanting to go live, but Jace has been motivating. Is that, or, it's really good to have that supportive family and, supportive people around you. I mean, that's something that I was missing even when my husband was with me. He never supported me in them type of things or helped me sort of do something that I wanted to do and have that interest. And that's something that I had to work on before I even went live on YouTube or doing any videos on YouTube. I had to sort of rediscover myself, and I've got a very supportive mum and dad. My daughter especially is very supportive. My son is sort of, yeah, just do what you want, the typical lad teenage thing, but obviously he needs my attention quite a lot. But having that supportive partner, you're really, really lucky, Andy. And he seems to be quite encouraging in the lives as well. He supports you actually coming into the live stream, which I think is amazing. And obviously, I will be there as much as I can do. Sometimes, obviously, with the time zone difference, it depends if I'm having a bad night. Generally, when I'm having a bad night is when I actually come on your channel because either I can't sleep or my son's up and I can't sleep because he's up. So, yeah, it depends on the time zone is obviously some of an issue, and that's why I've sort of tried to come on late in the UK, because I want to catch them, catch the people who I know will support the channel, like yourselves, but also maybe, grab somebody else's attention at the same time. Sweden is 1 hour ahead of us in the UK. Right, so they're ahead. As I mentioned, I'd happily do some backstage hangout on most days. I'm in Sweden. Y'all are way ahead of me. I'm behind in the USA. Yeah, it's just the time difference. But if Amanda wants to do a panel where it's just us having a chat and an hangout, yeah, that's not a problem for me. I can sort that out. Like I said, I just need the notice just so I can put things in place for the kids to be occupied and not in the same room because, yeah, they need a referee. They get on sometimes if they're in a great mood, but generally, I mean, when they was little, they was best friends. They wouldn't leave each other's side, and totally different now. Totally, totally different. And even though they're twins, they are like chalk and cheese. The only thing that they've got really, really into, like a common thing is that they're both creative. My son's very creative with music. He loves doing some art. He did especially in high school. Not done so much now, but music he is quite passionate about. And my daughter's sort of like does a lot of crafts, and her style's sort of more like cartoony kind of art. Where I was sort of like doing more realism. and I think it's been a good way for us to sort of mix and pass ideas on and things like that. So anything cartoony or sort of line work or, like a definite shape, she's really good at, where I'm more of a sketch and then I put it in the right place and then I take away all the lines that I don't want. She can just go straight in and draw the lines there and then. So she's really good at putting line work down. I try and do as much detailing as I can. And that's what I want to do with these coloured pencils. I want them to be sort of um, like a stepping stone from the graphite that I'm used to, just to add that sort of splash of colour and try and be a bit more open-minded with doing some different styles of art. Still not found this 135. I hope I've got it. I've not come across it yet. Right, let's catch up on the chat. All right, Andy. Yeah, see you when you get back, lovely. 188. We are on. I don't even know how you pronounce that. Sanguine. Some of these colours and the names. I think people just go asleep, wake up, and do one of them jolts in bed and go, "Yeah, that's what I'll call it." I think a lot of people do that with kids' names as well. That's my brain. I need to figure out how I can get the sort of YouTube bit up so I can see what's actually going on from the YouTube side of things. But having the OBS, I think StreamYard definitely worked better, more user friendly. You can actually see things. But OBS, you've got more control of what you're actually putting on your screen and when the transitions, all that type of stuff. I'm just not sure whether I want to stick with OBS or whether I just want to head over to StreamYard because I've not actually done any vertical lives yet. I know Andy does that. I can't even remember if Amanda does. But no, she does. She doesn't do verticals. She does the videos, I think. I know Andy does the verticals, and I am thinking of trying that, but I'm bothered about getting the odd um, idiot in. I just want this to be a nice place to sort of just chill out and have a laugh and you know have the banter breath. Sanguine is Latin for blood. Was it? I thought it was sangre. Oh no, that's Spanish. Sorry. Yeah, well, a lot of European words sort of come from Latin anyway, don't they? So you can sort of that's where you got your crossovers with the words. No, it's Spanish, the sangre, sanguini. Yeah, right. Sounds Italian, like some kind of Italian dish. Sanguine. It does to me anyway. Do you know Latin then? Yeah, OBS is free. It just isn't as I think I'm all right with it now. I'm sort of getting to grips with it. But it's just not pretty to look at, if you know what I mean. That's why I just don't like Discord. I just don't get it because it just reminds me of like, I forgot what it was called. Like MS-DOS. Like you need to know code. I know you probably don't need to know code, but it just sort of gives me that feeling, and I think that's probably why something like StreamYard has been quite a popular choice because it's just a lot user friendly. I'm a bit bothered where this colour's gone. I think it's gone on holiday. Latin is ancient Italian. Oh, is it? Well, you learn something every day. And yes, I know Latin. Wow. Do you know, I've never met somebody who actually knows Latin. And I've met people who know certain Latin words, so you're my first. Don't make a joke out of that, Sam. Very impressed that you know Latin. I know a bit of Spanish, but Latin, yeah, it's always been something that I fancied learning. There's a few languages that I've always fancied learning, but having the time and the actual memory is the issue for me. Even if I had the time to do it, the memory wouldn't help me, and if I had the memory, I wouldn't have the time to do it. So it's one of those where I will learn something if I'm going to use it in my life, if that makes sense. I'd like to have that useless knowledge stuff, but if I don't do something on a regular basis, like this, I've sort of got to grips with how to go live, how to sort of put the screens up ready for the transitions and all that kind of stuff. But if I left this and didn't do this for say 2 weeks, I just wouldn't. I wouldn't know what I'm doing. It'd like basically starting again from when I did the first live stream. And I think that's when the nerves come back. So I think live streams wise, I'm probably gonna try and do like a once a week thing eventually. But if I've got a project like this, or I've just got time where I want to come on and just have a chat with the subscribers and people that I've met, then I think I'll sort of do it as and when I can, like I have. I would like to do it where I've got a definite day and time, but my life doesn't really allow that. So I sort of try and give half an hour's notice if possible while I'm sorting out the thumbnails and stuff. But sometimes it's just a matter of I have to go and do the live as soon as I can get the time. 186. I'm just gonna have a drink because my throat's getting a bit dry. See, I don't even know how to put this on mute so you don't hear me slurping. Damn it, I was just going to, oh yeah, make a joke, you mean? Yeah, I thought you might. Go on then, what would you have said? Give me a giggle. Or have you not thought of anything to make something up? You seem to be very witty at this time anyway, so I don't think that's going to be difficult for you. I'm quite surprised that I've not managed to get any of my art subscribers into the chat, and I'm wondering if that's just because it's short notice. I know a lot of people who do sort of arts and crafts generally tend to have things planned out and whatever, or it might just be the time. Again, it depends. And I'm no good at remembering what time zones are. I know Sweden now is an hour in front. I knew it was about an hour one way or the other. But obviously, there's different time zones in America, and I can't even remember what time of day it is in England, so I've not got much chance of remembering. I think I'm going to need one of them walls with clocks on to say what time it is in different countries. Hey, I wonder if there's like a widget or something that you can put on. No, too late now. Oh, that's a tease. I'll have to wait for the next one then. Yeah, I wonder if there's like a widget where you can put on like your laptop or your phone what tells you. There probably is. Somebody must have done some kind of widget. I know there's ones for weather and your own time zones, but I don't know if there is one that sort of shows particular time zones. I'll have to have a look at that because it'd be good to sort of get an idea of what time it is for different people in different parts of the country. Because I think like when we go on to Tuber chat, that generally tends to be around. It's not always, but around sort of 7, 8, 9 o'clock in England. Um, and I think that sort of probably is the perfect time for everyone. Obviously, that's why Kevin's chose that time to go live because that's when people are available in different countries and it's a reasonable hour for everybody. Maybe I might choose one on a day that it doesn't stream on, but around similar time because obviously he's done his research and I don't want to do lives whilst he's live because I don't think that's fair. Obviously, I would do if it was just a jump on and just realise and I'm doing it because I've only got the time at that time. But planned ones, I think I might do around the same time, and that way I know it's going to be watched or accessible for everybody around that similar time for our friends in like America and people in Europe. I mean, it's quite interesting. I went onto my analytics and then I've got people watching my videos from like Russia, and you're like, wow. I know obviously the internet's worldwide, but you just don't think you're going to reach that far when you're very new at it all. You can add time zones on your clock app on your phone, can you? You'll have to show me how to do it in a bit, Lou. I take it you're my lurker in the background. I'll have to be careful what I'm saying because I've got friends and family on my channel. Don't think of them things, do you? Well, they get to see a more relaxed me, I suppose. Obviously, you have to sort of be a little bit different. It's not too bad now. Kids sort of, the kids are adults now, but obviously you have to put a different face on with children. But I think especially my daughter, with sort of more getting to more being like friends as well as mother and daughter. We've even got a bingo session planned on Sunday, haven't we? Looking forward to winning because my luck isn't very good at it, and she is extremely lucky at like bingo and raffles and all that type of stuff. So hopefully, this time next week, we should have had a good win at bingo. We've not been for a few weeks, so I'm looking forward to it. Maybe, sorry, Lou, I forgot which was it that was maybe that you was going to help me? Or you're not going to help me now? You was the one that was lurking in the background, is that what you mean? Do you know, I really want to get all these boxes done tonight because I want to sort of move on to a different craft. I've got my cricket machine sort of sat at the back, and I did some things for the birthday celebration, but I'd like to sort of get that on and come up with some more creative ideas of making, I don't know, making t-shirts. I think the last one I did was cake toppers that I did on it. Um, Different styles, different things. I've got a bag full of t-shirts to practice on that I got from Primark when we went for a little shopping trip. Um, so I'm not sure what the next project will be, but I'm hoping now start again. Now I've got a little bit of experience with the cricket. Think I might be okay going live, unless actually the last project that I did on the cricket was a hoodie for my daughter. And I tested out my new what they call the little heat press, the hand heat press, and I burnt it. I burnt the pad, I burnt the transfer, and luckily I managed to save it by being creative, and it actually looks quite good. But I'm not sure whether I should show that in the video where it's actually gone wrong, or make it look, um, make the video look perfect. Look, this is how I got this. This is what I've got there. Or to actually put in all the mistakes that I made. I'm just not sure what my audience wants yet. I don't get as many comments as I thought I was going to do. It was actually a sort of a bit of a fear that I had. Thought that I was going to get loads of trolls and loads of nasty comments and things like that, but it's been quite the opposite. Not had that many in. Let's catch up on the chat. My dad won't watch my lives anymore. I'm too prude, apparently. Oh, why would he think that? You thought a 48-year-old rugby player would be rude. Never. Oh, I bet you got some stories to tell about the locker rooms then, eh? You and I should form a small merch company for smaller YouTubes. You do the t-shirts and others, and I'll do 3D printing stuff. We'd make a killing. Interesting ideas. I like the idea of the 3D printing. I just haven't got the room for them. I like the idea, and I've seen some stuff that Andy does on her channel, and they're amazing. I can't believe she can get that kind of detail where it actually looks crocheted. She's very good at what she does. I did run some of your videos after the last one, but I've not caught up with all of them, so that I will be running that. Now I've got the use of my son's computer, I can just leave that running in the background tonight. Actually watching them is as and when I've got time to do it, but I'd like to watch some of your 3D printing. So I don't know if you got like a separate start again. Have you got a separate start again? Have you got a separate playlist for your 3D printing? See, editing would have magicked that out. They're the bits where I rewind and go back, and delete. You can't do that on live. Brown ochre. I've done this loads of times with the paints. I am quite interested to see if coloured pencils are similar to paints, but different paints can be different anyway, depending on what you use. I mean, I use acrylics. I've never really dabbled in. I've done quite a lot of different mediums with art. I've got acrylic paints, I've got pastels, got pastel pens, got watercolors, graphite, charcoal. I've dabbled in a bit of all of it. I sort of felt more comfortable with the graphite, and painting with the acrylics. I'd love to get more into the pastels. I've only ever done one portrait with them, and that was a portrait of a husky for my daughter because she's absolutely mad on huskies. And it weren't too bad for my first try, but um, yeah, oils. I've never really thought, yeah, I'd like to do that. Even oil pastels, it's not something that I don't know why. It's just never appealed to me. But definitely acrylics. I've even got marker pens up. Not done anything with them other than the swatches, but I've got like the alcohol markers, and I've got the paper to do it. I just don't know what I'm doing with them, and it's not something you can sort of use a skill from. Like coloured pencils, you can use, as a stepping stone from sort of graphite and charcoal, which is what I'm used to. But marker pens, it's a totally different thing. The blending, the colours, even the colour matching and the layering and stuff like that. It's very difficult with alcohol markers for realism. I mean, anyway, or close to realism. And I need to be able to relax a bit on the type of art that I do because I know I'm not like I'll just paint anything or draw anything. And it's sort of like that needs to be right, that needs to be right, and I want to sort of relax a bit and do some other types of art. Okay, let's catch up on the chat. I don't do any 3D printing on YouTube except for adding details to builds. I sell on eBay mostly, and I've had so many orders in the last week. Oh, yeah, you mentioned you had quite a lot of orders last week. I've had to close the shop to catch up, have you? That's really good though. It's good, but it'd be also good if you could keep up with the orders. I'll be getting a second printer soon to help with the volume of orders that I seem to be getting. You're back. Hello. Glad you're back. So how tired are you? You like sleepy tired, Andy, or are you just exhausted tired? I can understand both of them. I know you was on last night live as well. Or was it last night for you? It might have been a different time of the day. That's the bit that I don't understand. I'm not sorry you're back. I'm not sorry she's back either. I love having yous all here. It's I know we don't know each other as in know each other, but it just feels like a nice little group, and hopefully we can expand that to some other members that might come in. Members, subscribers, whatever you want to call. Um, but yeah, it should be hopefully a place where we can all just sort of come and chill and chat, and I'll do some silly things like this, and maybe one day show my face. One day. I just find it weird having me on the camera and not having anybody else. I mean, if I did a panel thing with Amanda, I would do a face one. Don't mind doing that, or I can do some kind of crafts while she's doing crafts. But I'm quite open, to be honest. I'm gonna crawl into bed. Have to get up at 6 and Mini Me will probably come and knee me in the back in a few hours. Oh, go and have a lovely sleep, Amanda, and I hope I see you in here soon, or see you on one of yours. Yeah, bed's not an option for me at the minute. I want to try and get through all of these. I know people might not be able to stick through the full live. But I'm hoping if nothing goes wrong with the kids need refereeing, that I might be able to get through the rest of them. Because I know my daughter's time is going to go off on the laptop soon, whether she's lurking in the background or not. I don't know. 179, we're on Bistra. Bistra. I've got to be honest, when I finish these lives, I do actually sort of make this look a bit neater and a bit better. Because even though I'm trying my best at the minute to sort of do it the right way, I I'm still shaking. It probably doesn't look like it because I've tried my best to sort of do something with one hand and keep this one hand still. For God's sake, Sam's gonna come up with something. Yeah, I'm trying to keep there's something in this hand to keep it going and this one flat so it doesn't look like I'm shaking. But I am. Yeah, sweet dreams, Amanda. I'm wondering how quick chat comes through, whether it's like instant. I've not really checked that out. I'll have to see. I'll have to get my daughter to sort of send a message while she's in the room to see how fast the messages actually come through. That's the only way I can sort of think of monitoring it. I'm just very surprised I've not heard anything of my son because, like I've mentioned before, he's a musician, and his birthday he got an instrument that he's really loving to play at the minute, and normally I can hear it in the background and I can't hear it. Wonder how copyright goes if he was to play some songs and I can record him playing them. Would I be able to play that on my channel, or is that still copyright because you're playing somebody else's songs? Because sometimes I feel like these videos, especially with the other day when my voice was a bit off and then I needed to sort of stay a little bit quieter, I think sometimes could do with some background music. And I know you can find stuff on YouTube and yeah, YouTube itself, and I get some stuff off CapCut and Canva. But it'd be nice just to have the songs that you want sort of playing in the background. And I know he could put a tape together, eat tape. That shows how old I am, doesn't it? He could put a recording together of his music, but I don't know if it's still classed as copyright. Shaking, yes, I tend to have that effect on ladies. It's my natural charisma. Yes, it's all down to you. There's around about 30 to 45-second delay between what you say and when it's on YouTube. Oh, right. So, really, you should be able to sort of pause any, like, if anything went weird or, I don't know, before it actually went live. I don't know if, no, I'm not going to mess with that. I'll just let it roll and see what happens. The copyright algorithm would pick that up and tell you there is an issue. It will give you the option to delete the copyrighted stuff, right? It's not worth even going there then, isn't it? Hello! I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. Criatorio? HSS? Welcome to the chat. Are the colours of the Super Soft 120 the same as the Polychromos? To be honest, I don't know. I think, I'm not entirely sure. I think my daughter's got a small selection of the Super Soft. If you're still in the chat, Lou, can you let me know? I know you've got some coloured pencils. I know you've got some ink tents, the Derwent. Have you got the Super Soft at all? I mean, I don't know if you can tell from the tray, but that's the tray. I mean, I don't know the characteristics of the Super Soft. Obviously, it sounds more of a softer pencil. This is quite hard. This is going to be very much for like detailing. I have some Prismacolors, and this is definitely good state of that, right out of the line there. I have some Prismacolors, and they're really, really soft compared to this. What I'd probably do is use the like Prismacolors, or some of the other pens. I don't really want to say what the other pencils are because that's going to be like my next sort of big video next. But I've got some very exciting pencils. Well, exciting for me, might not be exciting for anybody else. But I've been wanting these pencils for a while, and that's going to be my next sort of unboxing. And I will be using a mix of these. I want to compare them all and see what they're all like. But anyway, yeah, I'd go in with the other pencils first, and then I would use these over the top for detailing. Once you've actually got your layers in and you've got the colour down right, and then obviously these are very sharp. When you get a real sharp point on these, it literally draws over the top of everything. I've not done loads of testing, but the tests that I have done with the pencils that I currently have, these lay down really hard lines on top of the softer pencils. So I'm not 100% sure, but the Super Soft just sound like it's probably a softer pencil than these. But like I said, I've not actually used them, so I can't tell for sure. Where were it to? You got soft coloured pencils, I think the Derwent. Yeah, I think they are Derwent ones you've got. We'll have to have a look through your stash to see if when I can do like a comparison video of different kind of coloured pencils, because I know you've got some. I've got some like really cheap ones from oh, I forgot what they're called. There's a cheaper company. They're not like not like Crayola or something like that. They're sort of like a lower end, like budget coloured pencils. But I have got some more expensive. But it'd be quite a good experiment to sort of see which ones work best over what and which ones colour and saturate. Just having a drink. I need to figure out where that mute button is whilst I have a slurp. Hopefully you don't hear it too loud. Right, 7 people in the chat and only 4 likes. So don't forget to like the video, please. It's free and really helps with the algorithm of the channel. Thank you. Really appreciate that. It does help. And also what helps is tapping that heart button. I didn't think it makes a difference on YouTube. I thought it was just like a TikTok thing. But I've chatted with a few YouTubers when I've been on their lives, and they've gone back after me doing like countless hearts, constantly pressing, and they've come back to me and said, yeah, it does make a difference in the algorithm and it comes up as engagement. So, yep, that's what I mean. I do that now. If I'm watching somebody else's live and you see loads of hearts going away, that's me. If I've got nothing to type, then I'm tapping that heart just to give it. I mean, if even if it doesn't, it's an extra thing that obviously the algorithm will pick it up because otherwise, what's the point of it being there? Um, but it shows your love anyway. Showing love doesn't cost anything. The more we can support each other, the better. Slurp. Yeah, I know. I need to. In fact, I might even exaggerate it. I was gonna say I need to press mute, but it might just be easier just to exaggerate the slurp. But I'm one of them people that don't like mouth noises. Can hear the comments already. Yeah, I don't like mouth noises. I'm just one of those, and in like noisy eaters, or even myself, if I take a gulp of a drink, I get annoyed with myself if it's made too much noise. So I was gonna say I'll exaggerate the noise, or maybe get a voiceover, not a voiceover, like an sound effects, over the top when I'm having a slurp. Think it'd be better than finding the mute button. You're cutting potatoes. What are you cutting potatoes for? I liked and shared you out, Stacey. Oh, thank you very much. Tam, why are you deleting messages? Was it that bad? So you're making tea tonight? It's not Jason making tea? What are you having with your potatoes? Call me your Slurpee from now on. Slurp. I'm gonna have to get some sound effects, I think, when I figure out what I'm actually doing with this technology. I mean, the options are endless, aren't they, of what you could actually do. It's just a matter of finding things and figuring out what is the actual best programs to use and not having to pay a fortune to use them, that type of thing. It doesn't look like I'm going to find this 135. I don't know where that's gone. I'm going to have a good look for it. There is a 135 in there. I don't know where it's gone. So we're now on 280. Yep, perfect. Where are we up to? Spelling mistake. Ah, why you deleted it. I'm sure it was something else. I don't think it was a spelling mistake. Potatoes, green beans, and corned beef for dinner. Mmm. Now, corned beef, I've only ever had. I don't eat a lot of meat, and it's not like, one of these where preach don't eat meat and all that. Like, it's just that I don't like a lot of meat. The only time I ever have corned beef is in a corned beef hash. And I don't know if that's like a worldwide known thing. But it's basically like a stew with potatoes and corned beef in it, and I do that quite a lot in the winter. But meat, oh God, I'm gonna say something wrong here. Um, the meats I like to eat, really, I'll have like spaghetti if the meat is in a sauce, or I don't mean like a bit of meat with sauce poured on it. If it's in something, God, it's getting worse. If like mincemeat, for example, in a lasagna or in spaghetti bolognese, something like that, I'll have that type of meat, but I won't have, like a piece of steak or something. That's not what I like. But you give me potatoes and green beans all day long. But yeah, I don't generally do that. 135 is white. Yeah, I think it is because it's gone missing. I think it's just transparent. Um, I've actually got the white on a different piece of paper. There's the white. I think it matches the same as that one, apart from the little smudges that I've seen to have put on it when I've been pointing at it. Yeah, it's like an ash. Yeah. And I know a lot of people, especially in England, like putting dumplings in it. I don't know if that's a thing that you have in America or not, but dumplings, do you know what? I'm not really sure exactly what they are. They're like suet, like like flour and God, I can't even remember how to make them. I've not done them for years, but because they mess about with my stomach, I can't tolerate a lot of flour. Um, but I've not got no like. intolerance to. I'm not lactose intolerant, but anything like I'm not sure if I've got some kind of intolerance to like wheat and flour and stuff like that. So I just try and avoid stuff like that. So I like a lot of I like my cheese. I like what else do I like? I like things like jacket potatoes and things like that with fillings or um I don't know. I like a lot of veg. I like salads, but meats I can pass on. Depends on what it is. Chicken I am extremely fussy with. I have to cook it. Um I need to make sure every single sinew's took out and every bit of anything that looks red. So yeah, I'm very picky. And it's just easier for to tell the people that I'm vegetarian, which I've done loads of times. I know I'm making it too easy again. Yeah, I think that's what's going to be happening between us. I just can't help myself. My mouth just says things without me even thinking. Yeah, constantly my daughter's going, that's what she said. Or getting funny looks as in, do you realise what you just said? And then people just start laughing. I laugh with them because I realise what I've just said. And I would have probably took the mick out of them if they'd said it. But yeah, I think my brain and my mouth are not sort of always attached together, which can be quite fun and interesting, but could also get you in a bit of trouble. Where are we up to? No gluten free for me. You mean like you're not gluten free? Sorry, you're not got no problems with gluten, is that what you mean? Dumplings are suet, yeah. I thought it was suet. I heard you smirk then slipped. Do you know what? I might even do some work on my cricket and make some mugs or a t-shirt or something with that on. Smirk and slurp. I'll have to do you one time where it's Archbishop of Banterbury because that's stuck with me. That I'll not stop thinking of that. I think that's what made me remember you. You're very fun to have in the chat. Sorry, no dumplings. No. Yeah, it's one of those things that you have to be in the mood. Well, for me anyway, you have to be in the mood for it. And I think sometimes you sort of go, I wish it's had dumplings in it, but I think stews can be quite healthy if you do it right. And I just don't see the point in putting something that heavy in a stew because stew's quite heavy anyway. But if they're there and you know they're there, as long as you don't bite into it thinking it's a potato and you actually know it's actually part of the meal, then yeah, that's fine. I've just not had them for a very long time. Dad used to do them all the time. And that's why I think I forgot the recipe and how to actually make them because I've not done them for such a long time. Slip and smirk. Oh my god, right. Yeah. I think the image is in my head. I don't want to. Do I want to know? No, I don't want to know. Yeah. I don't know if we're able to share our crafts on something, sort of like, I don't know. Um, I've got Discord, but I don't understand it, and I know you can share images and projects and whatever on there. I don't get it, and until I do, probably won't use it. It'll be one of those things that I'll use when I've got, excuse me, got a free time. But yeah, it just doesn't seem user friendly to me. I mean, I started going on Facebook with a couple of the people in the art community, and they share sort of projects and stuff on there. I've got a Facebook page, but not a Facebook group, and I don't really post on there very much. I think 135 is just going to be white. It says light red violet. So I'll have to look through. I'll have to have a look through the other pencils because I don't know what's happened to it. It's just a chatting device, nothing else. I'll set one up for you if you want. I've actually set one up. I'm presuming you talk about Discord. I've actually set one up and joined a couple of groups, like vidIQ and a couple of people like that. But it just doesn't. I've set it up. That's not the issue. It just doesn't make sense. There's so many options in the menu and don't really make the actual titles and things like that of what's in the chat. You click on them and you just don't go into the place where you think you're going. It's like going on a night out, really. You start off in one place and then you end up somewhere else and you never really know how you got there. You never understood it either on the way. And that it's just I don't know, it just confuses me, Discord. I can imagine it being I think Discord was set up for gamers anyway, but I can imagine it being, you know, people that are really is nerdy the word? I'm not really sure, but people that are quite clever with them type of things and Discord, I don't know, it's just I think they could do with doing Discord but a bit more friendly for the people who don't do all the computer stuff. It just doesn't look like somewhere that I want to share things. I don't know. Might just be me. I'm gonna have another slurp. It's really annoying me where this 135 is. Have I missed a colour there? Yeah, I thought I had. Nope, you're not there. Go back in the other place. 175, yep, dark sepia. These are very rich colours. I don't know if that's showing up on the camera, but these are very rich colours and I quite like the saturation. I was actually thinking, like I said a few times, that I've done do graphite drawings, but I think it might actually be quite interesting to do like values but in sepia tones. So like if you was to do like the old photographs instead of doing a portrait from excuse me. Instead of doing a portrait from um a photo, coloured photo or something like that, or a black and white photo, it'd be good to, instead of putting it down as charcoal or graphite, it might be quite nice to do like sepia tones. Just a thought that popped into my head. I think it'd look quite good to have just them type of tones. Might have a play about with that idea at some point. Think I need a notebook to sort of write these ideas down as I'm going because I know I'll end up forgetting most of them. That's what super tech savvy mods are for. Slurp. I moi. Yeah. Well, if you're one of them super tech savvy mods, I think um I think you might be my new best friend because I ain't super tech savvy. Do you know, it used to be when computers were sort of like in the heyday, like when I was at college and things like that. I was really tech savvy. And I think I don't know. I don't know if it was just baby brain or if it was part of the fibro, but I just sort of lost that type of I don't know. Just lost like touch with computers, I think, and never really picked it back up. Because I used to do programming and stuff like that when I was at college. But obviously things were a lot more simple then. But you don't know what I've done here. But you'd think I would have picked that up going into new and better kind of programs, but I just didn't. I don't know. I think I was always more interested in the creative side of computers, but I don't know. I've lost it somewhere. But I never lost the wanting to sort of do something creative. And I have tried throughout, you know, adulthood to do some kind of crafts, but they always got squished down by a certain person and was made to feel like anything that I did wasn't worthy of me doing it. So, I think I just give up on a lot of stuff that I wanted to do. And I think if I'd have done more back then, or had more opportunities and more freedom to do the kind of things I want, then you never know. I've been a massive YouTuber by now, or at least a couple of thousand people following me. We never know, do we, where we're going to end up. It's because they're no longer running Windows 93. Yeah, it's Windows 93. God, I think Windows 95 was sort of my era. Um, yeah, I mean, my son's loaned me. I got him a laptop for a Christmas, and he's loaned it for me. When I'm doing these lives, I'm going to get myself one eventually, but he's loaned me this, so it's the first time I've used Windows in years, and I mean years, because I've used Android devices for the last, God, at least 10 years. So like I've got a tablet, got a mobile phone, and I'm fine on them. Went back on Windows, I'm like, geez, things have changed here. I mean, I did go on Windows 10 for a little bit on my daughter's laptop, but I think this one's Windows 11. Um, it just, there's a lot to take in. I mean, just going from, I use CapCut for editing and doing all the kind of things to get the videos ready for YouTube. And just going from the app that I've been using on the Android device to using it on Windows, it's a totally different layout. It's like having to use another program all over again. I mean, it's still got the same functions in a way, but it's just a lot to do. I much prefer Macs, to be honest. I've never used one. I've heard a lot about them, and I think I've heard a lot about them being quite good for people being creative with them. But they've just never been about in the family, or people that I know, so I've not really delved into them. The only problem with that is the price tag. Yeah, they are pretty expensive, and the fact that I'm a peasant makes two of us. Probably makes quite a lot of people as well, but yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna get a laptop of my own. I've not figured out which one I want because like I said, I've got a tablet and I do all like I've started doing a bit of digital drawing. I'm not really that great with it, but I started doing a bit of digital drawing, and I'd like to do that again, but on another computer, and another laptop. I haven't got space for a PC, so that's no point in even trying that. So I want a laptop, but I'm thinking of getting a two-in-one. Problem is with that, it generally tends to slow programs down, and I need it to be quick because of the streaming and the downloading, uploading, all that type of stuff. So I'm still pushing around different ideas of which laptop I actually want. I think I'm going to stick with Windows just because it's what I know and it's what people around me know. So if I have any problems, for example, the kids obviously know a lot more than I do these days, so I can just go and ask them what they think or what they've done. If you had somebody sort of like I knew proper that knew what they was doing with Macs, I might be tempted, but I think I'm just so used to the other camera's just turned itself off. I think I'm just used to Windows too much. I can't see how many people are actually in the live. Well, I've got that one there. So we've got 5 in at the minute. How many people did you get in your lives, Tam? I know Crafty Witch, Andy gets I've seen hers go up to like 30 at some points. Yeah, you're saying panda. I think we tend to spend our money on being creative as well. And I think a lot of that money goes to hobbies and crafts that we're enjoying or we can create just to make ourselves feel a bit wanted in the creative world. 5? I'm sure you got more than 5. Or are you saying 5 for how many have I got in? 10 to 14. Is it? We've gone down a little bit. Wonder if that's because we've sort of gone past Christmas. I did notice sort of like a spike in my viewers, especially over the Christmas period, and I thought, to be honest, it would have gone down. But then you got to think people would be taking time off work and, having a flip through YouTube. I'm just wondering whether I should give a chance of doing the vertical lives rather than um the horizontal. I don't know if that what's the word for it? Not horizontal. Anyway, we've come to the bottom of that page. That's the warm grey. So we don't have many left to go. I really do want to finish this. It's just my hands hurting. Might just give it a stretch. I have a slurp. I've even got this little cool little window. Let me show you. Dee, 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 dee. Although I think you can still hear me. So yeah, I'll drink my little scene. Let's put the main camera back on. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 14, 15. Got 15 left. And I still haven't found our invisible coloured pencil. So I'll have to see if it's in one of the other trays and I've missed it or what was it? 135. This cup of tea's gone cold now. No, I can't see it there. Anyway, we're on warm grey 4. Okay, so we've got warm greys, but there's different numbers. That's not going to be very easy to identify. That's quite a big difference between that one and that one. Slurp. So the mic's still live when that screen's on. Wonder how you can cut it out or you have to actually press it manually. Good job I didn't say anything or do anything in the background then, wasn't it? I was just testing that screen to see if it works, but it's good to know that the microphone still comes on. This is what annoyed me with the very first time that I went live. I had all that set up on the OBS. And then I wasn't able to go live anyway. It just wouldn't work for me. Well, I wouldn't work for it. It was probably my fault that was going on. And that's why I went onto StreamYard, which just basically put me straight onto YouTube and didn't have any issues. But like I said, I had all these transitions and pages and all sorts sort of set up on OBS, and I didn't really want to sort of go on to something else. So I'm still undecided yet, and I have paid for a month of the StreamYard, and I think it's a bit silly not to have a play with it whilst I've paid for it. So I might try the vertical live on that because I think a lot of people use StreamYard for the vertical lives. Do you just go live through YouTube itself, Andy? Click the mic icon. I clicked the mic icon last time and it just doesn't. Let me try this. I'm going to keep talking. Let me know if the sound goes off. Still talking, I'm still talking, I'm still talking. Could you hear me? Or did it sort of go quiet? It's a bit difficult to sort of judge it, isn't it? I think I need, I think I need my daughter in here to sort of test what's actually coming through as I'm doing it. Because obviously, I don't know what's being. I mean, I obviously could unplug my microphone, but for them to go and try and plug it back in, I know OBS is going to jump up and say this isn't recognised like it did the other day. And then they have to turn OBS off, which means ending the stream and starting it all over again. So I don't really want to mess too much with any kind of settings or unplug anything. If that works. Yes, but lower. Well, that was on mute. Actually, it's showing that I've got two mics. I've got two mics. I wonder if it's sort of set one on the default on like on the laptop. It's actually picking up that because it's saying I've got mic auxiliary 1 and 2. Right, let me mute them both. I'm going to just keep saying I'm muted and muted and muted and see if it stops the actual microphone coming through. Let's try that. Can you all hear me? Did I go quiet? Anybody jumping on this live thinking what the bloody hell's going on here? I thought I might as well test it with people who are happy to let me experiment. No jokes. Hopefully it muted it, but I think I need to figure out why I've got two mics going on. And also to find out if having them two mics is actually making any kind of echo sound or picking up something that's not very good. Because obviously if it's picking it up on the computer microphone, the computer's whizzing away at the minute with the fans. And obviously that's not going to sound very good to you guys. No sound came back on when you pressed the button. Damn it, you spelled on my foot. Well, I think what I'll do next time, Tam, is next time I know I've said something I shouldn't, I'm just going to leave it blank for you to fill it in. Oh, for God's sake, I've already done it. Ah! Yeah. Well, I'll stay silent next time. A lot of people wish I stayed silent, including myself. This is very light grey, this. It's weird that I'm used to obviously working with greys and graphite, like I've said, but as a coloured pencil, it's obvious you can feel obviously different texture, but as it's going down, it does look like you've just got a light coloured pencil going on. So the look of it isn't much difference, but the feel of it definitely is. Hope let me fill you in now. Hopefully, not getting too bad there. I've not selected it's not suitable for the kids. And then you delete your next message. Ooh, it's bloody. So, did it go quiet? I don't even remember what was said. Let me look back. No sound came back on when you pressed the button. Right. So I'm presuming that means it went. The mic went off. I think what I've done then is I've got two microphones set up by the looks of it. One must be like the default, which is on the laptop, and then my mic's plugged directly into the laptop as well. So I think what I've done is set two mics up in OBS. So I need to take the default one off, which will be for the laptop mic. And then if I do ever need to put a be right back because I need to deal with something, hopefully I can sort of put some music with that, like I did with the thumbnail at the beginning. It's just I understand the copyright, I get it, but at the same time I'm sort of like, well, don't you want people to know your work? And if you can attribute in the comments or the description, it can only be a good thing, I suppose. You're not like selling it, you're just putting it on in the background, and there's nothing, as long as you're not doing it to sort of harm them or say something bad about the music or whatever, it's going to be better than never playing music. Yes, the mic went off. The auxiliary mic is usually the one to mute. If you have two mics, you'd be getting feedback, so you do only have one mic. But would it feedback if it's a laptop and it's a Rode mic that I've got? But they're not close. Like the laptops on let me see where you can actually see. Laptops on this side, sort of up on a shelf, and the Rode mic's like right over here, so pretty much as wide as the camera is, at least between them both. So I'm not sure if it would get feedback off it, but I'm just wondering if I got like an echo from it. There is definitely two mics sort of picking up, because obviously I've just looked at it. There's two mics that are showing like the level going up and down. But one of them obviously is not the right one. So I need to figure out which one is actually showing as the Rode mic and just get rid of the other one, basically. But I'll not do that now because I know I'll mess things up and I'll never be able to find my way back. I ain't got no ruby red slippers. I'll never find my way back if I go and mess about with settings whilst I'm live. I know that is just not going to happen. Maybe one day. Nah, don't even think in one day, a couple of days or a few years, I still think I'll have the same problem. It's one of those, if it's not broke, just leave it alone. And it's not really broke, it is working, but I'll fix it in the background, not when I'm on live, because I know I'll just end up turning everything off. Not purposely, it'll just happen. We're getting closer to the end. The echo is feedback, silly. Oh, right. No, I'm sorry. I was thinking more like the squealing. Yeah, that's what I was asking if it was could actually hear like an echo, because I know when I've done like God, this is light. When I've done like editing on two different cameras, even though you line it up, sometimes it's sort of like one overlaps the other very slightly. And you sort of hear that kind of echo in the background. So I thought maybe if one's picking something up like a few milliseconds later, it might just sort of overlay it and sort of have a bit of an echo. I've never classed echo as feedback. I've always thought feedback, I'm not saying it isn't, but I always thought feedback was like the squealy noise that you get. Well, that's what I used to call it when I did the DJing. Don't forget to like the video. Yes, please. For those who are lurking, it's free and really helps the channel grow. It certainly does, and thank you for keep putting that in. It's something that I've had to start getting used to actually saying in the videos, because I've done it myself where I've watched a video and thought, oh, that was really good, that. And you don't remember to sort of press them likes, but if they say something like, if you found it interesting or whatever it is, or, I really appreciate the like thing, you actually go and do it. So you're actually asking for them to go and do it. But that's not natural to me to ask people to do something for me. So it's something that I've sort of started to learn to put in some of my videos. But I've tried sort of in the end of these lives, I've sort of done like a bit of a please if you do like this, do that, whatever. But I'm just wondering if I can sort of get some pop-ups on the screen or something like that. Like, this isn't the right number. On the pencil it says cold grey 1230, but it says warm grey there. That needs to be changed. Do you know what? I don't think I've got any decent pens. I'm just going to put a star at the top and I'll get that changed over. I'll probably put a sticker or something over the top. But this is definitely cold grey 230 and that says warm grey. So I've done something wrong when I've printed it out. I'm just wondering if it might be a good idea. Obviously, this is like the first time I've done these swatches, but whether these would actually be useful if I sort of done like a PDF file and attach it to YouTube in some way so that if anybody wants to do the same type of swatches, they've already got. Because this took a while putting all these colours down and everything, and a lot of internet searching because I didn't actually have the box open when I did it because I wanted to unbox this on the camera. So I actually had to go on to a lot of in the Faber Castell Polychromos information on the actual Faber Castell website was absolutely rubbish. You couldn't get a detailed idea of where there was in the box and all that kind of stuff. So it was a matter of looking through images and putting things down, and that's obviously why some of these have not been perfect, or one of the two have been invisible. But I think once I get it done properly, I can change it on my own laptop. I'm just wondering if it might be helpful for other people to put like a PDF file, if that's possible with YouTube. I'm not sure if you can share PDFs or something like that. Just a thought. Any noise you get from the mic is feedback because it all comes from the same place, a feedback loop, right? Makes sense. Slurp. I had to take a big gulp then because it was going cold. Why? Oh. You could put a link to it in the description of videos. But how does it store it? Would I need to have it on? Because I'm after building a website. Well, I've started to do it. Sort of something that I've been doing in the background as and when I've got time for. Um, so I do plan on doing like a website eventually, but I wanted to sort of take things one step at a time. But if I had a PDF and I put a link to that in the description, where would that PDF come from then? Would it need to be like an Adobe or something like that? I'm not sure because I'm not really shared I've done it on emails. How does it work like that, like an email? Share it from Google Drive or Hotmail Cloud or something. Okay, I'll have a look at that. I just think it might be useful for other people rather than messing about trying to find what order they're all in and get the right numbers. I know this one's not been perfect, but I just thought, if I could get the numbers in order whilst I'm doing it, and any mistakes that I've made, and I can just make changes on the document that I've actually printed these off from. Because the next unboxing that I'm going to be doing on coloured pencils, I'm planning on doing some work with these first, but I have got another box of coloured pencils which I'm really, really excited about using. Um, I don't know if that means anything to anybody in the chat, but for somebody who likes to do drawing and stuff, these are like the bee's knees coloured pencils that I've got. I want to I've unboxed them and I've recorded it, but I've not actually tested them yet, and I can't wait to actually test them. But I've done the same thing. I've printed out like a swatch sheet so that I can do it. These look quite boring on here, but I know they'll work really well, especially in like shadows and lights. 232 code grey 3. This is something that I struggled with when I first started with like colour theory and stuff like I did art in school and stuff like that, but everything that I've done, I've never sort of gone to college or all like that. It's stuff that I've learnt myself or from YouTube or from watching artists on TV and stuff like that. But for some reason, I mean, it seems really simple now, but for some reason, I couldn't get the difference between warm and cold. I know that sounds stupid now because it sounds stupid to me as somebody who knows what they're doing with it. But I really struggled to find the actual meaning of cold and warm colours. I mean, obviously, reds are warm and blues are cold. But when it comes to a particular colour, so like grey, trying to sort of distinguish which one's cold and which one's warm, it took a while for me to sort of get it. And I don't know if anybody else has had that same problem, but it's just something that I struggled with. I thought I'd sort of talk about it. But colour theory is, I think, it's very interesting. It's definitely needed, but I think it's sort of taught in the wrong way, and I'm hoping to sort of break that down myself over time for people who are actually wanting to do any kind of art, colouring, painting, whatever. But painting is the one that sort of got me interested in the colour theory side of things because obviously pencil wise I was doing graphite, and you do get warm and cold greys like you do with these, but it generally tends to be like the hardness of the lead rather than the actual shade, the actual warmth and cold of it. It tended to be more about how dark it was rather than lights and rather than warms and colds. Just make sure I've got the right one again. 233 cold grey. Can't wait to try these. Is that black? And black as well. I'd like to see how black the black is. I can see me rushing these a bit now. I've put a microphone just next to this and I've knocked it under a little bit. There's a little microphone at the top of my desk. And my idea is to edit my voice out so it just picks up just the the noise of the pencil on the paper. And I'm hoping to make just like a looper, an ASMR video, and just have that playing when people want it playing. People like them strange noises, and I think scratchy pencils would be a nice sound to a lot of people. So hopefully it's picking it up. I've not actually played it back yet to see if it works. It's just something I'm dabbling in, thinking of doing. I think Candy's gone missing with her potatoes and her green beans. Has she gone for her tea? I've not seen her in for a while. Pickle, are you still hanging around? It's not, thankfully, because I'd be out of here if it was. You mean the scratchy pencil noises? I hope it was. Right, cold grey 5. I just want to get to them. A bit impatient. I wonder whether to go backwards. 2, 3, 4. Oh, numbers in order. 2, 3, 4. To be honest, I can't see me using a lot of the greys because I want to try and get away from the graphite a little bit, add a bit more colour into things, but they do have the place. I have too many sensory issues, especially surrounding noise because of my autism. Yeah. I'm actually going to be doing some, I'm all about the autism, ADHD, well, any neurodiverse conditions. And I've told this to my kids throughout their life that it's not a problem, it's a gift, it's something different. but it's something that makes them unique and it's their superpower, because a lot of people put it down as being a bad thing, but if you can sort of dip into the things that they hyper focus on, or they have got a passion about, or something that they've read into and know every single fact about this, that, and the other, dip into it. What's the point in pushing them to do something else if they're not going to want to do it? They're not going to want to learn that way. And I think that's where the education system in England, especially, is lacking, even with like special units and special schools. I try to keep both my children in mainstream schools, but they had specialist like specialist areas and specialist staff who dealt with children who had different conditions. But even there, they still pushed the curriculum that mainstream kids needed to follow, rather than dipping into, right, that person is really creative in this, or they're going this for that. It's not about them reaching academic levels. Yeah, English and maths are an important part of life and you're going to need them to function and all the rest of it. But do that in a way that's going to be helpful to them. What's the point in teaching them, I don't know, Pythagoras or algebra or whatever? Teach them how to do balancing the bills and how to pay certain things, pay taxes in case they become a musician and become self-employed. That type of stuff needs to be taught. Maybe not obviously early on years, but certainly high school and college and things like that. That's the type of things that they should be teaching them. Life skills rather than academic skills. And the life skills that was taught in my son's school was stupid stuff like gardening. I mean, yeah, I understand people might have a garden, but it's more likely that they're actually going to succeed more in life if they can do things like their taxes or the contributions to the health system or whatever it is that they need to do, paying bills on time, how to do transactions in a bank, all that kind of stuff. That's the thing that they need to be taught. And I know a lot of kids are taught that at home, but it's not always the case, and a lot of kids sort of missed out on. I mean, for example, I know what I'm doing with English and maths. I mean, I found this out during COVID. COVID was a big realization to me because I knew how to do all the work. I knew how to get the answers to the questions that was set by the school, but teaching children how to do it and teaching them the way of doing it, yeah, it's dead easy to you get the answer because you know what you're doing. But to try and teach them how to get the answer without you giving them the answer, that was the crazy thing about it, having to try and find that way. But obviously, I didn't have any teacher training. That's what they have, and I didn't. But I still kept the school system going. And obviously, a lot of people are homeschooled, but at the same time, a lot of people are not. They're in the education system, and I think it's a very old fashioned way to teach our children of the future. That's just my opinion. Do you want to know how many times I've had to use algebra since I left school? Zero, not once. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But because I couldn't do it at school, I failed maths. It's ridiculous. Completely agree. And that's our generation. You know, uh, the kids now, everything. I mean, you look back, like when I was a teenager or whatever. I mean, we only have bloody 5 channels at the most. I remember Channel 5 coming out in England. I don't know what it's like over in America, but we basically had 4 TV channels. Um, and Channel 5 come out when I was a teenager. Um, but now everything's got some kind of creativity or editing or um, ground creativity, props. It can be anything. I mean, obviously you got YouTube, but you got so many other platforms, and anybody can be on a TV these days. And the skills that they're not moving with the times, and especially for kids that have them extra difficulties. It just, I was gonna say they're banging their head against a brick wall, but that, that's something that children end up doing if they're not taught the right way or helped, or I mean, luckily my son um fell into fell into a sort of a relationship with a one-to-one. I don't mean a relationship as in a relationship. I mean teacher child relationship, where she was really good. She knew what he was like. She spoke to me regular, but obviously she still had to follow the curriculum. So she was like his one-to-one, like his TA, teaching assistant. But she sort of stayed with him from year one. And then when COVID hit and he went back to school, the teacher of the specialist system put her with somebody else, and that was like a major problem for my son. And I finally eventually fought for it and got her back. And he actually sat and done some GCSEs when he started school. Um, he was said, "No, I won't sit any exams." And do you know what? With that work from that TA, me working with him, and instead of just forcing him into doing what he doesn't want and him retaliating, he come away with 5 GCSEs. Not brilliant grades academically, but for him that is like a major milestone. I was so proud of him. Um, but when people look at number on a piece of paper of what they've passed, that doesn't show the commitment and the dedication that they put into getting that, because that's not that's not something that they find easy like other children might. And it just seems to need to move with the times, but that's my opinion. I don't know what it's like in other countries, but yeah. You're eating now. You're having your corned beef, your potatoes and green beans. I've actually only got 4 colours left now, so um I'm going to be wrapping this up. I've still not been able to find 135. I'll have to do another one and a hunt for the missing pencil. I bet and do you know what? I could do with counting. What I forgot? 7 and 5. So it's 35 a sheet. Bloody hell, now I've got to use my math. 70. So 1, 2, 3. 105. So yeah, that makes 120. So I've definitely got enough boxes. It must be in the other tray that's been moved or something. I don't know. Or I've just not written them down in order. Munch, 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 slurp and munch. I can see some creative projects arising from these little lives. I'm gonna have a slurp now anyway. Mouth's drying up. I don't know how other people have drink and stuff. I mean, I've seen people sit there munching away. So even some of the videos that they do, the food comparisons and things like that. But I couldn't sit there and eat in front of a camera. I find it difficult to have a drink, behind the camera. Never mind eat something and talk and no. But that's just me. I'm like that with when people are eating. Shouldn't be sat there talking at the same time. 199. Let's see how black is. What kind of music are you into, Tam? The Slurp Show. That's what you should call the lives. The Slurpy Show. Oh, I don't know about that one. We'll have to have a think. Slurp and Munch. We'll have to figure out a name for the panel one though. That could be something. You can elaborate on the elaborate's not the right word. Um Something you can conjure together of all the chats and come up with a name for the panel. The thing is, I think it'll just be funny to us and like everybody else. It'll be like, why they called it that? As long as I don't start getting called Slurpy Stacey, I'd hate that. And now I've just said it, I know that it's what you're going to do, isn't it? Really should keep my mouth shut. This black's not laying down very good. In fact, it seems, I mean, I've not pressed down on it yet, but just the layering of the black normally, it'd have been a lot darker by now. So let's see how dark we can get it. Because I really want to be able to have a really good hard black. Oh, for God's sake. There we go again. I need one of them buttons, like you said. No, I don't need. I like to use, no, that's the wrong wording as well. Black pencils on detailed drawings are very useful. So I was looking for a pencil that would follow them commitments that I need. Metal, blues, pop, rock, and classical. There's a big mix there. To paraphrase Hagrid, you should not have said that. You should not have said. Yeah, I take it you're a Harry Potter fan. My daughter's mad on Harry Potter, and I've just realised I have my mouth covered. So I'll take that hand away and not do that again, otherwise people won't hear me. Because if you can paraphrase things my daughter does that all the time. She knows pretty much every single line in Harry Potter. She's absolutely crazy on it. Read every single book, watched every single movie countless times. Um, and I've seen a few of them a few times, but nowhere near as mad as she is on them. But yeah, big Harry Potter fan. My daughter. You had kids. Had kids? Are they older now? You don't have to answer these questions. I don't mind. I know it's a public chat, so that's entirely up to you whether you put anything down. But yeah, it is a difficult transition from children to adults for sure. I'm finding that out. I'm not really getting black from this. I'm really pressing hard on this side of things, and it's not black how I'd like it. It's not as black. I don't think it's to do with paper, because this paper is what I use all the time. I'm not getting black. Don't know if that looks dark on the camera or not, but it's not that black. I mean, obviously you don't get as much shine on it as you do with graphite. Oh, I've actually bought some new pencil. No, not new pencil. Started using newer pencils on my graphite drawings. That are a matte finish. So when you've done your graphite and you don't get that horrible sheen across it. So I've not done a lot with them, but they was really interesting and good to use. Now we're on the silver, gold, and bronze. No, silver, gold, and copper. Sorry. So let's see how these go down. If it's any different to actual grey. That's weird. It feels a little bit softer. Sort of feels a different kind of pencil, to be honest. But still looks kind of grey, more sort of like a mid between these two. Two. They're 26 and 27, which is shocking because I'm only 30. Yeah, I've been 21 a few times. That looks more like tire black. Yeah, it just doesn't seem very deep at all. It's a weird. I'm gonna have to do a black comparison for sure because I might just go and get just a load different brands, just black pencils. Because you use black in a lot of detail, especially in realism. I mean, I know I've learned over the years that you really need to make sure your blacks are blacks and your lights are lights to get that mid tone in between. And I'm presuming that's very similar with colour pencil. I'm hoping it is because that's the kind of place where I'm coming from with it. Um, But I like to know that the darkest colour is going to be the darkest colour and nothing else. Like people's pupils, if there's no reflections, things like that. I think you need that dark brown. Sorry, that dark black, and that to me is just not dark enough. Especially from a hard pencil, it's not. I don't know. It's a bit disappointing, but it means that I need to go and find the black pencil. Do you know what I might end up doing? And I don't know if I should do this or not because I need to test it. But I might use the matte pencils, like the dark, hard pencils, because I'm sure they're darker than that, and just put them next to each other and see if I could use that on coloured pencils as well. Right, I'm going to press pretty hard on this just to see if we can get that silver colour out. It didn't look very silver up at the top. So when you burnish the paper, you're pressing all the bumps and lumps down into one flat surface, which is what gives you that thing. But there's definitely a reflection there. So it is more silver. These are obviously more grey, so you can actually see more reflection. So it is the silver, but I'd still probably use my darks and my lights to get it. So say for example it was a bridle on a horse or some kind of jewellery or whatever. I don't think I'd go in with this. I think I'd go in with reflections. To be honest, I think these, let me try the other one, but I can see them being more to use on card making and things like that rather than actual coloured pencil. I've never used pencils or felts to create midtones. When I airbrush, I cheat and use a Zenfeld Prime. What's that? Zenithal Prime. You have to educate me on that because I've actually got an airbrush kit and I've never ever used it. I actually bought it started doing cake making and decorating and all that kind of stuff. Um, and I bought it for that. Well, I've never actually used it because I sort of put it to one side thinking, oh, we're not going to really do cakes anymore. I'll use it on paint, but I've not even tried it on that yet. It looks waxier. Right. Yeah, I need to dip into the. This is the problem, and I think this is the ADHD with me. I jump around all over the place wanting to do different creative things. Um, and it's good in one way because your brain's all over the place and you can think of different things and come up with ideas and all that lot. But you also need to think that you're in reality and all these things aren't possible. When you're younger, you think you can do them all. But as you get older and life comes in and you've got responsibility to do this, this, and this, the time dwindles away and you're going to have to find time in that space to find these new creative ways of doing things. So it's about prioritizing what you'd like to do first, but then you end up with things sort of stashed away because you want to do it, but not have the time to do it. So I've got loads of different bits and pieces that I want to do, and I think what I might end up doing eventually on the lives is giving a choice to whoever's in of what craft they actually would like me to do that day. Sort of maybe have like a poll and have 4 different types of crafts that they'd like to watch while we're hanging out and chatting or whatever, or me doing more of a how-to video and just let them decide, or maybe do like a spinning wheel or something. I don't know. These are just ideas that are jumping around. So zenithal is where you prime the model black, then from about 90 degrees ish, you spray the mid-tone, usually grey, then from above you spray, right, I get you. So what you get is underside in black. Yeah. The middle of lumps and bumps. Middle of lumps and bums, great and top height. You can then use thin paint colour to go over the top, and because it's thin, it'll show the darkened tones through and give a dark mid highlight effect while still showing the top colour. Interesting. Do you have them in your videos? Because that'd be quite good to watch. I mean, I've always watched these. Really, I've never really thought of it being of interest, but I have watched quite a few like car. My son likes watching like car videos, like people do cars up, and I've always had mechanics and people in my family, so cars have always been a big part of what's going on. But I've always had this thing about spraying cars and how they look afterwards and all that kind of stuff, and not just spraying it one colour. I mean, obviously doing something special with it. But the actual spraying process of how they create it. Um, that's why one day I want to do one of these graffiti art days. I'm gonna do one with the kids one day when they get on. Um, we'll do like a graffiti art day. You can go out and you can pay so much, and you have a blank wall, and then teach you how to do some graffiti. And I fancy doing that at some point, but not very gold. This gold. Oh, it is in the light. I don't know if you could pick that up on camera or not. But it is quite gold in the light. But obviously, these are not the kind of colours that you would use in a drawing, or I wouldn't. I mean, if it was a gold crown and you're not doing realism, you're just doing like cartoon drawing or whatever, then yeah, fine, go and use the gold. But if you're doing proper drawings, or if it's colouring books, things like that, yeah, you might use these. Um, like the mindful books and all that kind of stuff. What do they call them? The mandalas and things like that. These might be okay for, but realism wise, or going into like more of a 3D kind of image. I don't think these silver, gold, and copper. Obviously, they've put them in here because every part of art is different to others, so it depends on what you're actually producing. This is weird. I can see yellow and purple in this. My eye's going funny. It's like I've got a mix of yellow and purple in the same. I don't know if that's my eyes through staring at this for so long. No, I can definitely see yellow and purple in there. If you can see that. Really don't know, but I can see yellow and purple in there for definite. Let's catch up. Okay, my Irish dinner and Dutch cookie. What's a Dutch cookie? I've heard of Dutch courage, not Dutch cookie. I don't know if they do them over near you, or even I'm presuming you have Subways. The it's like a sandwich shop, but at the minute they're doing, and my daughter's mad on them. She's had one today. A foot long cookie, and it's obviously a foot long. Um, but it's a cookie. It's like a big long square cookie. She absolutely loves them. But to me, they're very quite doughy. Not like cookie dough, but quite really soft in the middle, but nice and crunchy on the outside. It's a bit of a weird. I won't say it was a cookie, but things just gone bidding. Have I just gone off and back on again? Because OBS Studios just said it's disconnected and reconnected, so I don't know if that has made a difference to people being here. Has it kicked anybody off, or are you still with me? You did, yeah. It just popped up and said OBS disconnected, and then come back on saying reconnected. I wonder if it's because my computer's whizzing away. Or my son's computer. think I'm going to have to get my own before he's packs in. He's only had it for a few months. I don't want to break it before he's had it for long. Make a change because it's normally him that breaks things. Yeah, I'm not impressed with this copper, silver, and gold. I have used copper, silver, and gold pencils before, and they've been a lot better than this. I mean, that's pretty much. Let me just get right into the. This is going to be pretty much burnished right at the end here, and I wouldn't say I've pressed super hard there, and it's not really got. I mean, you can see it, but I've used different pencils that, it's not that, is it? That's supposed to be like the colour of the pencil. This is why I do the swatches, because the colour of the pencil doesn't always come out on the paper. And there you go again. Right, that is my last swatch, but we still have 135 missing. So I'm gonna have a quick look for that whilst we're finishing off on this live. If you know how to drop your links in, I know there's not many people watching, but I have got like the chat sort of. I think it plays it back on the ones when it's replayed. So if you want to drop your links in, and if anybody ever sort of sees the video, at least they've got your details. If you've got more than one channel, obviously drop two. And I'm going to put a post on, not post, I'm going to put a playlist and a suggested video. And if you want to have a look at those, I'll also link in one of the cards me actually unboxing this set of pencils. So you can do that. But please, if you have been watching this, please like and subscribe. And if you've got some kind of brainwave to leave a comment, I'd be appreciating that. I'm just going to have a quick look at 135 just while we finish. Definitely not in that tray, because we've just done that one. These are all going to fall, aren't they? Oh, I managed it. Right, so 135, it says it's a light red velvet, so obviously it's only going to be red. That's more of a brown, but let's have a look. Nope, that's not it. I'll have a search for the missing pencil, because I've definitely got enough boxes. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. So one last tray. Unless they discontinued it, and I don't know. So reds. But why would a red be up? Oh yeah, it's still in the reds, isn't it? Let's have a quick look here. Light red. So we're looking here. One. I think we're gonna have a missing pencil. I'm just gonna have to change it on the actual the PDF because it doesn't look like it's here. No idea. Don't know what's happened with this one, but that's going to be our invisible colour. I will have a proper look at them at some point. It's so satisfying, that, isn't it? I will have another look at it in some point in the future. I want to say goodbye and thank you to everybody that's been part of the chat. The mystery of 135. Ooh, it's spooky because it's really annoying me. It's one of those things where you know it's going to grate on your nerves every time you look at the sheet. So I'm going to have to Google to see if there is an actual 135 because I want to buy it if it is, because I need to complete this collection. It's like having a collection of stamps or coins or whatever else people collect and not having the one that's empty. But yep, they're all the colours that we got. So that was page 1. Starting from them colours, page 2. I know it's not a work of art, but this is where the work of art starts by swatching them all over. 3 and 4. That's all done. Right, hopefully the next videos will be a bit more interesting. I have got some more boxes of pencils that I'll be opening in future videos, but I want to try and do something away from just doing swatches. I want to try now. I've done a couple of lives to do something a bit different, and we'll see how that goes on the next. Right, thank you everybody. Good night, John boy.